Ora la collega Mateja Karnicnik ci parlerà dell'altra fase del progetto, per lezioni pilota. Anche in questo caso raccomando una certa sintesi perché siamo un po' in ritardo. Please.
Hello. I would like to present you a work that we did in our group, which was focused more on employment and employability of 50 plus. Let me just arrange my presentation. It was unfortunately closed, but never mind. Okay. So we worked as a group under Work Package 5, which was focused on age and SME interventions in Central Europe. And as we heard during the day, we talked a lot about demographic changes and how it is affecting our society in all different levels and aspects. So our work was to focus on employment and employability. If we look here, we have, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, demographic changes. We have here Maria, which is 62 years old, still not ready to retire in many of the European countries. She feels like her work is not valued, that her knowledge and her experiences are not valued. She's fighting stereotypes every day on her job. There are many young employees coming and they think that they know better and the old ones should go and give some space for the young ones to start work. She also feels that she doesn't have any development possibilities because HR departments in companies think that it is not worth to invest in the knowledge of and career development of 50 plus employees. And she is a bit left aside, feeling useless, depressed, with a low self-esteem. On the other hand, we have company, let's say X, paper industry, for instance, doesn't matter, with the aging workforce, which happens in a lot of companies in the Central Europe. There are a lot of conflicts going on between generations, but also there is a fear of losing knowledge. I said paper industry because I know that there are no more educational or very few educational programs that offer this knowledge. So the knowledge and experiences of those who already worked for many years in this industry is very valued. And if baby boom generation retires, there will be a big hole in the companies. And also companies face with a poor organizational climate because of all of this. So that's why our pilots were focused on improvement of employability of older workers by cross-generational HRD strategies, by work-life balance and age and diversity management. We worked with different target groups. The big group were regional stakeholders, which was like government institutions, local governments, chambers of commerce, trade unions, training institutions, and so on. But also very important groups were SMEs and employees employed in those SMEs. We divided our work in 3 different areas that were covered by pilots. The first one was HR development, where a cross-generational HRD strategy in Moravia, Silesia was developed. There was a huge survey done on employability and future prospects of 50 plus, which ended with the, let's say, notion that there is a need for further development. So they worked a lot with the employees, but not only old employees, all generations, in soft skills training to improve their continuous education and also their self-esteem and to take over the, let's say, responsibility for their own development. And out of this soft skills training and other events, recommendations for the powerful workplace came out, which means the workplace where employees want, are able, and can work and perform their best till they are ready to retire. The other pilot was about cross-generational competence management in Styria, where they worked with one strategic partner, which was a regional employment pact, and really selected the areas, the branches that were mostly affected by these demographic changes. Then they invited companies to cooperate and did a thematic analysis in those companies in order to tailor-made their consulting activities, which were about mentoring, age management, all of these topics that are in this area. So the next, let's say, group or point was the work-life balance, which was dealt with by our Polish partner. They did a lot of research that involved not only desk research, but a lot of field research with a lot of questionnaires, people involved, unemployed, employed, employers. So they really looked at all different angles and also organized a lot of events and workshops with stakeholders. And they focus also on the promotion, which was not only promotional materials, but conferences and other speaking events when they shared their knowledge and spoke about work-life balance in connection with the employability of 50 plus. So the result of all of those activities is a monograph on aging population in Central Europe, which is where the determinants and challenges of population aging with the reference to the work-life balance were identified. So we can again use this tool that was, let's say, developed. And the third part was age and diversity management, where we dealt with age management, diversity management in companies. For instance, in Slovenia, again, we did the research. Everything starts with the research, and we heard this morning that there is not enough research done in Italy, for instance. So we did it properly in all of our pilots. We researched the companies, the regions, and find out the state of the art in order to shape our innovative measures. So in the case of Slovenia, this was a training seminar for HR managers, and also the online program, which is open to wider public, and it's aimed to raise the awareness on the topic of aging workforce. Again, the thing we heard this morning a lot, promotion, awareness raising again. All of this was supported with awareness raising materials. And the last project was on knowledge transfer through cross-generational co-employment among SMEs in Central Trans-Danubian region in Hungary, where they focused on mentoring processes. So they worked in companies taking older employees who were, like Maria, left aside, not worth anymore, with low motivation, and they set them as mentors to the young employees coming into companies. They put together a work plan and were, of course, trained for different soft skills and also mentoring skills. Everything was done upon the results, again, of the field research. And at the end, also a regional cross-generational HRD strategy came out of this pilot. So if I can summarize what we found out, we took different, let's say, paths to deal with employees 50 plus, but we found out the same things, which is if we want to have workers like this guy, I didn't name him, happy, able to work till the retirement, we have still do a lot on the promotion and awareness raising in the area of aging workforce. We have to look how the situation is in order to be able to do a customized solutions. And we have to focus on knowledge management and workability, which goes for all generations, not only for older workers. And what was really very, very valuable in our group was sharing of good practices, which companies also valued a lot. So whenever we have a good practice, we should speak about it and present it to others, because this is the most powerful tool we can use. Thank you.
Grazie molte per questa sintetica illustrazione. Ovviamente è difficilissimo sintetizzare in pochi minuti un progetto così complesso realizzato in otto nazioni differenti.